No. Should turn slower. That's what we were looking at while we were recording. There's the heat press and the fan. We've worked out it was turning because of the wind. So these are all oil-based fabric inks. You can see that a lot of them have been here for a while. We've got some lovely dead bugs in that one.
I think most of them don't have bugs.
Actually, no, most of them don't have dead bugs. There's, some oil on the top of that one. You can see some of them have been used. Like this one's been mixed up or at least tested. And so's that one. Feel the dust sitting on it though. My favorite thing is that this was me. I went to try and pick up this container the other week and the top of it just split. And so,
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh, actually, you can
Aiden knows about that.
This table. This vacuum table though.
It's
really cool.
It's a vacuum table. You could play what's that table hockey on it? Because the air comes. Oh no, it does the opposite. It does the opposite of a vac. Never mind. You could not play table hockey on it. But yeah. I've attempted. I don't know, man. I think I'm confusing myself. I've attempted to use this before, but I've not had much success. I typically just use this one.
Are they trying?
Yeah, there's drying rack and big. That one's that's so heavy to turn that it has electricity to turn it. Yeah, the stones. Pretty cool. Say bye, Leo.
Oh.
Ow. It wasn't very loud, but it hurt.
Did you hit?
Yeah.
Hit on something.
I hit those two bits together.
Right. That's
Yeah.
probably
You see it turning bright. It's fine.
So it's final 10.
Yeah. Final term.
Ooh. Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to one of the last episodes. I don't know how many we've got left, but probably not many.
Yeah, probably like a maximum of 5.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Grace.
I'm Leo.
Welcome to our podcast, for 50 cents. The name comes from the phrase, your 2 cents, or a penny for your thoughts.
Yeah.
Or my 2 cents, a penny for your thoughts. But we are doing Fine Arts for 50 at the University of Canterbury School of Fine Arts.
Yeah, honours students.
Honours students. And so it's for 50 cents because we're paying good money to be able to have these thoughts.
Good money.
You're paying more than I am. I am blessed to be a domestic student. Yeah.
Totally. So, we've been the end of our this year.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So it's like 12, no, it's 24 weeks course, right? 12 weeks for each semester and 6 weeks for each time.
24-week course. We're in week...
Well, the last 10, and we have 6 weeks in this 10.
Week 18?
3, 6. Yeah, 18.
Can't count.
Yeah, 3 times 6 is 18.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, no, that's 7. How do I get to...
No. It doesn't matter though. No one count those things.
No, this is week 1 of term 4.
Yeah, that's easier.
Yeah, or week 7 of semester 2.
Yeah, definitely. So, we've been in like 2-week short break.
Yes, we just got back from our 2-week short break. Sorry, I was eyeballing the fan, which isn't normally running, and I've never been able to work out how to turn it on. But it's on, and it was on when we came in, so it's nothing I've done.
Should I touch something?
No, I think it's probably fine.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, no, that's why I got distracted behind your head. You gave me a funny look. I'm like, I need to explain. There's a fan in the wall that's turning, and when I tried to turn it on a couple of weeks ago, it wouldn't. So,
Oh, that's funny. So, do you want to talk about this room first?
Yes, so we are currently situated. We've set ourselves up today in the screen printing room. Oh, the screen printing side of the printing room.
Yep.
The printmaking room here at the Fine Arts buildings. We're in block 1, and this room has also the facilities for lithographs.
Yeah, and the stone printing.
Yeah, which I think is the lithographs.
Oh, right. So like, I just find out one thing today.
It's big roller presses and printing blocks and stuff, yeah.
It's like everyone come back, like graduation student coming back, everyone of them will talk about this room. And they will always talk about, we densely use this room. Now I
Yeah.
feel like a little bit pressure of using this room now.
I've used it lots.
I don't do
I've not used it for almost any of my projects since second year because I don't know if you remember, but at the end of second year I handed in a postcard book, or like a book of postcards, and I'd screen printed them. It was meant to be a run of 14, and I produced one complete one and one that was mostly okay, because every time the last layer of the screen print would fail. Every single time. So I no longer do screen printing with more than one layer, maybe 2 at a stretch, but even then, no more than 1 layer. And I do not do it for projects anymore.
Why it fail?
It would miss a line, it would misprint, it would, yeah. It was an issue.
Yeah, get it. Yeah, so like I quite feel like a pressure to use this room a little bit more because I'm going to be kicked out of school very soon.
Yeah, we'll be done soon.
Yeah, so I probably need to find a way to use some stuff, and even I found some new materials here, like that, some press machine.
That's for setting the ink for the if you're printing on t-shirts and stuff, screen printing.
So talk about your work.
So we've chatted through my work a few times, but I'm exploring kind of, I've landed in this area of internet culture and ephemera, and that has ended up with me looking at receipt paper quite specifically, and memes, often screenshots of memes from my own phone. And I think it was you that looked at me while I was talking to Luke at the end of last term and said, you should buy a receipt printer.
Yeah, I'm not going to surprise. I'm always telling people buy some stuff.
Yeah, you do that all the time. And I was like, I'm not buying a receipt printer. They're expensive, because new they are. They're like $300 to $500 new.
That's
for like the style of receipt printer I wanted.
Wow. And
then you're like, no. And you Googled it, and you're like, no, there's like $40 ones. And they were like brand new, cheapo looking ones. That were
and they use Bluetooth, and they use your phone. You don't want to bother anything.
I was like, that's, if I got a receipt printer, that's not quite what I want. If I get a receipt printer, I want it to be older, and I want it to be like the same kind of ones you'd find at like at the places I'd been getting receipts from. So like McDonald's, like the chunky industrial grade
ones. But I still mean that.
The ones you were showing me weren't.
Yeah, but I still mean that you can just put it inside an old box.
No, because you still have to buy the old box.
Oh, no, just build one. Like,
no, that's what they look like, Leo. You can't build that.
So talk about that. Do you want to show some machine?
So I bought a receipt printer.
It's not that expensive. It's still more expensive than what I talked to.
Yeah, but but it's quality. This thing's been running since the 2000s, and it'll be running for the next 2000s. Like, it's clunky. The only issue is it's not designed to talk to my computer.
Right.
It's old. It's designed for Windows XP, and so my computer and it aren't talking very well at the moment. I have a few fixes. I'm pretty sure I'll get it, but I just haven't sat down and tried yet.
Have you tried just run a virtual machine?
I don't think that'll fix it. The issue's more than that. I'm needing to find printer drivers and stuff.
Wait, first. So it got 3 ports, like
parallel port, a Ethernet port. That one is for if you've got a cash drawer connected to the machine, so you can run it out of that. So when the receipt prints, your cash drawer pops out.
Yeah.
And that is the power port. So that's where the power for the machine goes in.
Right.
That's the one that I need. That's a parallel port, I believe. And
does cable come with it?
No, but I have the cable. I bought the cable for it.
Ooh, how much for that?
$25 including postage.
That's expensive.
Not for this kind of cable. They're not made anymore. And it was bought new.
Right.
Or not made very often, from what I could find. There's only one place that was selling them.
So do you want to talk a little bit like why you want specific this kind of look?
A lot of my work this year, especially if you think to like the ephemeral narratives show, whereas like I showed a video work on a CRT screen.
Yeah.
Like, and that like kind of nostalgic aesthetic was kind of what I was going for. It's like older. Oh, hello. What's that? Sorry. Immediately distracted. Ooh.
Okay, they got Japanese. Like,
I'm pretty sure it'll just say the same thing as what that says.
yeah, they got English.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But like, when you born, like which year you from?
I was born right by the turn of the millennia.
So it's 1999 or 2001?
2000, smack bang in the middle.
Right, like that's quite interesting because if there's some children like from 2000 2001, they're born in like mainland China, like big city, like Shanghai or like California.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have any memory of that. The memory of receipt printer is from someone just punching the iPad. That will be like, and because like New Zealand is kind of like a time capsule.
Yeah.
So we got these things. We are like 1970s of America now. So it's a really interesting color. Like I would say like 50%
There's a lot of black
gray.
ones. Most of them are black, but this one was like a off-white kind of beigey grey color.
Yeah, it's kind of remember me like my first computer. It's like same color, plastic, outside a bit bonky and round.
Yeah, it's textured plastic. It's not like smooth. A lot of the black ones were smoother, like shiny, and I didn't want shiny.
Yeah.
Because I wanted something that looks older and like it was made to last, and that's proved by the fact that it's old and it is still working. Yeah.
The whole is it's not really working that well.
It is working. Most of the reason it's taken me so long to get it sorted is because it didn't come with an instruction manual, and I had to download like 16 different ones until I found one that actually had information in it I could use. But then the current issue is that the driver port on the Epson website doesn't seem to be the right one.
Yeah.
And I also just misunderstood what a USB port from the printer side of things in the manual was, and it is in fact not this, even though this connects into a USB cable that connects into my laptop. It is in fact an actual USB port on the printer. Like there's ones of these that have just a straight up USB port. So I was using the wrong software. I'm probably going to have to uninstall and reinstall a lot of stuff. But that's a different job. I think that's my Monday job.
Yes, but like it's incredible in some way because like most now like why don't receipt printers like half of the time is not working in the large supermarkets because the paper is run out or just telling you they don't want to give you a receipt printer. And I was getting a like digital receipt printer and it exactly looks like the receipt from the receipt printer. So it's monochrome and like typography is just exactly same. It almost feels like they directly send in the software, like they keep all the software there, but they use the like a PDF sender, but not the receipt printer instead.
Yeah.
So do you feel sad or like anything like we are kind of little bit ditching out the receipt?
Well, it's not a bad thing necessarily, but it's just like I really like having a physical piece of paper.
Yeah.
Like if I go in my back pocket right now because I bought lunch today.
Yeah.
And I paid for a bus.
Wait, why?
Because I keep them all for my project, but that's just from today.
Yeah, but it's cheaper by the bus card.
I know I have a bus card. I had to top it up. So I overdrew this morning, so I emptied out my bus card and then I topped it up.
Yeah.
And then that one's my sandwich I had for lunch, and this is the can of soda that I also had for lunch, but I haven't finished yet, so it's sitting right here. And then that's a old shopping list that I found in a pocket of my jacket on the way to uni this morning.
Yeah, I have like a blue Danish cookie tin in my house. Like I put all the receipt printer like inside, like it's unfinished bill. So like I go out with the flatmates, go out to do any shopping, and I'll just keep all the receipt inside.
Nice.
And it's so frustrating. Like when they tell me we don't going to give you any receipt. Like because you are our member, we have your email account. So like I just totally gonna forgot that receipt, and also or like I just could like give out all the discount, like one of another. So in the end, like the receipt paper is so much, and we start kind of using the receipt paper to do like cashly. So like we just switching like he pay $25 and I just go find the $25 kind of receipt and say give to you that, any kind of money.
That's really amazing. I love that so much.
Yeah, like a check, and New Zealand is teaching on check.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you can't get checks anymore. Full
Yeah.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got some of the receipt print. The first
Yeah.
color of it is really old.
Yeah. So I have new ones now because I used up the other one, but it came with like a half-used roll of receipt paper. That was really yellowed, which I really love, but it's going to be hard to emulate, so I'm not too worried about that. But the new stuff is just white. But this is like meant to be like the printer test, and it's not working.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll get it sorted, but it's just not currently.
What if like in the end you can't sort it?
I don't know, man.
Will you just leave this like this?
I don't know if I can do with it what I like. This is very formally interesting, and it's very visually interesting, but it's not functional for what I bought the printer to do. And so, I may use it for something at some point, maybe, or maybe I'll work out how to get it working. But currently, it's not working, and I'm not quite sure how to get it working. And I will get it working, I'm sure. But if I don't know how I can use it for my project.
Okay, like we change a scenario a little bit. Like in the end, you can't make this working. Will you consider get a new style?
The thing is, if I bought a new one, like the cheap ones that we were looking at, the shipping time for them is 4 to 6 weeks.
No, it's 1 week. I can get it in 1 week.
Even the places that say it should be 1 week, there's a delay at the moment from what I've seen. A lot of my friends have ordered stuff from overseas.
Yeah, I got a special way to deliver stuff. So like, if you can get in, will you consider that? Or like, how it looks is so significant to your project and you want it and you can't change it?
I think it's close to that. I would have to talk to Luke about it. Because I think for him, he's focused on this outcome. He'd probably tell me just to get the newer, cheaper one.
Yeah.
The newer, cheap one, like another time. But the thing is, I'm running out of cash. I don't have much money left in my course-related costs. I don't have savings at the moment. And so physically can't afford it to a degree.
Right.
And then the other issue is like, for me, this is a part of it. Like how the means of production is a part of the end result. And so the aesthetic of the actual printer is a part of it.
Yeah.
There are slightly newer models on TradeMe for about the same price as the like cheap ones that are Bluetooth connected.
Yeah.
And so I might look into that. But I think I'm fairly certain I can get this working because I've got it this far. So I know it can be talked. Like my computer can tell it to do things. I just need to see if I can get it working further than that at this point. That's kind of where I'm at.
Right. Yeah. So, because it's so significant to your work, are you going to present the printer in the show?
At the moment, that's part of what I'm planning.
Yeah.
Is to find a way to set it up so that potentially I need to get it working. If I don't get it working next week, then I probably won't follow through with this. But I'm thinking about combining. Me and Luke had talked about making a zine and also memes. And I was thinking about how it could be cool to... The zine is printed on
that's
receipt.
really cool.
And so having that as like people can push a button and get a copy of it to take.
But like when we talk about zine, it's like we have kind of like imagination. It's like something folded up, like something you can flip.
Yeah.
And this one is like quite one roll of paper. Like how are you going to combine that two?
It's a scroll. Scrolls are a valid form of transmitting information. They have been for centuries.
So early in my work in this year.
Listen.
I have a like 3.5 meters scroll, and Luke tell me this is not book.
Well, I'm not going for a book. I'm making a zine.
Sure. Should I change my project name?
You could try.
Yeah, like I still want a little bit talk about the characteristic we can see on the works. Like most of them is like traditional Chinese. Some
Yeah,
of
it's a
the
mixture of the different languages.
yeah, like and like some digital data stuff, some like Latin letters, some of the Europes, a lot of the Europes actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of ASCII letters.
So like do you feel like university kind lack of the education of the Unicode? The linguistics, like computer talk to each other.
Sorry, you're gonna have to ask that question again.
Do you feel like university is kind of lack of the teaching us about the Unicode?
I feel like it's not something that needs to be taught. That's the thing, is like Unicode is pretty straightforward. You can just kind of Google it and you get a really clear explanation. It's not something we need to be taught about, really.
But yeah, but another way is like we also talk about the how to use the software. It's kind of straightforward, especially today. Like yesterday, when I need some function, I just ask ChatGPT, and I ask ChatGPT find the like specific YouTube video to teach me that. It's really, really helpful. I don't need to use like 20-minute search like how I do it.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, but we still talk about how to use the software, though, right?
Not really.
No, not like teach you, but we are still like it's something we dealing with it every day, right? We still have like a mind like I'm using this software. I need to do some certain part of stuff. I go to online to search it. Or today in the studio talk we talk about some specific job of called Mac guy, like
Mac operator.
Yeah, Mac operator.
It's a outdated term describing someone whose job was not to do the thinking behind the design necessarily, but to be given a task and then to execute it.
I still feel that it's very useful.
Yeah, I think that's there's like this it seems so weird.
Maybe it's not that important. Maybe like one studio should have one guy.
Maybe.
So like it's not operating for you, but when you operating have some issue, you can get ask like I want to get something like that. How I did it. I don't need like maybe like half a day. I just doing something like when I choose the right button, it's one button away. Right. So like that things we're still talking today. We talk every day almost, but the linguistics, Unicode, typography, type design, like what's the depth between the different types? We don't really talk much though.
No.
And some way of our project is, especially in this year, turning to like very industriously, graphically, or like program the design ish. Like, is there like some part we lack of our education about the typography?
I think so. I think a lot of the stuff that we don't do is done at Polytechs, though. So it's like we don't do it, and so we're lacking it. But if you added it in, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of what we do spend time doing.
Yeah.
And therefore, we would lack what we are doing. And so it's just it's a rock and a hard place, really, where you need to be learning some of it, but if you learn it all, then you don't learn any of it properly.
Does that mean 24 weeks is too less, too small of number for a year?
Even 2 years is too small a number of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything else you want to talk about your project?
Not massively.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think there's... You were the one that wanted to talk about it because you wanted to heckle me on screen about not buying the cheap one.
I don't heckle you.
But
I still think like you can just definitely like screening like 3D printing that case.
You could not. I know. Have you done 3D printing?
A little bit, not that much though.
I've done enough to know to get a print of like this is not 3D printed plastic.
But not.
This is probably injection molded or something like that. You could not get a 3D printer to make something like this with it being smooth. And to get the smooth surface on it, No, you can't.
You can sand it.
No.
Do you know?
You can sand resin printed plastics. You cannot sand 3D printed ones. You can maybe, if you're lucky, get a really high quality one and then melt it, like heat melt it to make it smooth. But that is tricky, and you're playing with fire, literally.
No, like they have another kind of 3D printing. Is printing out from the liquefied plastic.
You know that's literally every kind of 3D.
No. Like the one is like that. You got a box
vat.
of,
Yeah, that's resin printing.
right. So like you draw it out.
Yeah.
And they have a screens under
Yeah.
that. That would be really.
That can
smooth.
be pretty smooth,
Yeah.
but it's still a whole other issue.
Right.
Which this is just not.
Not
no.
the people. Right.
No.
Right.
You couldn't make a box that looks like this.
I'm not gonna like just say you definitely should buy the cheaper one, but I still think that can be an option if this one don't work.
Yeah, I think it is. It's not an option, but I just don't think it's what I was going for. Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically like what I talk about your project because like I feel like as a podcast going, like our project is in moving and we focus on different points every time we talk about.
Yeah.
It's really good for like working workbook.
Yeah.
So
You're focused on your workbook for this again. That's why you like this podcast so much.
yeah, like I feel high pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still haven't touched my workbook. Haven't touched at all.
I have to be honest, I haven't touched anything that's specifically my workbook,
Yeah.
but I am keeping a record of a lot of what I do.
Yeah. I'm gonna creating something like I'm going to use a lot of like architecture style of the painting. Like I feel it's like a lot of like project I thinking about this year. I didn't make it up, but I have a whole group of series writing down up for them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask someone to paint it down and then just put it inside the project. And now you're going to use like blue based paper. So looks like architecture book, but ish. I don't
Interesting.
know. I need to make it good. I
you
need
need
it.
You need to make it soon as well.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. So it's talking to the book.
Yeah.
Like I mean like try to prove I am graphic designer.
Oh, see, I've given up even on that. As far as I'm concerned, our course is not discipline coded, and so I am approaching a wider artistic practice with a discipline from a design viewpoint.
Yeah.
But it's just like the sculpture student, the painting students making sculptures.
But sculpture
they-
student been doing sculptures too.
Yes, yeah. But there's like very different when you look at the like painting sculptural work
Yeah.
and the sculpture student sculpture work. Very different because they're approaching it from a different viewpoint.
I would say like painting student sculpture was the first one we can see like getting there to like the wooden box and smash it up.
I haven't
like,
been into the current series.
I would say that's very traditional painting sculpture. Like when I'm talking in painting sculpture, it's like those painting you just like broke the painting linens and just do something on it.
Yeah.
And also like or just keep the font of the painting. Like
Yeah.
they are really traditional and really follow that steps. And they're not teaching out to say, I'm going to do a sculpture in this year. They probably just say, I want to do some painting, but that is the way of painting. They don't think that's sculpture probably.
Yeah, I was talking more about Sophie's work where she's built a massive dome that's a sensor overload
That's
work.
so good.
And also talking about Marie's work where she's literally casting objects in glass.
Yeah.
And her work, her handed-in work last year, Marie's handed-in work last year, if I'm remembering correctly, was a string that was attached to multiple posts. That was her work. It was a site-specific installation painting, but it was a sculptural work.
I mean, like, installation is like, everyone want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
we've
it's
both
like-
attempted it this year as well.
Yeah, because like, it's our school, you got space to waste.
Yeah, you got space to waste. That's
Yeah.
so true.
So, and you want something big and cool.
Yeah,
That's basically is installation, that's it.
yeah.
Like, if you're going to make a digital screen, you want big too. Like, if you make something online or on digital, you want a big screen for it. You want to shut
Yeah.
out. Like so some kind that become the installation-ish, you just need one more steps.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I've been trying to prove myself as a graphic designer.
Yeah.
I was talking about last time to make a book.
Yeah.
I can't finish like semi-finished. I finished the main context of the book.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish like the dictionary side part of the book, so probably just another 2 or 3 page.
Yeah.
Not much. I'm making book. I'm gonna talk this story by 2 parts. Like first, like when I'm making the books, I still start to realize the production of the book is makes sense. The look and the both of the lecture, both tells us like we need make book like at least 100 of copies. I intend to make 100 copies at this time. It's gonna cost me a lot of money. I'm gonna cry to my mommy.
You can make books here for like way cheaper than...
Oh no, I want to make it fancy and looks good. So if it looks good in the end, I need that mark.
Yeah, but like...
And I will be the only person to spend a lot of money on it and also make more than 100 copy of book and send it out.
Alright, man.
I will be looks good, like as part of my plan in getting marks in this year.
If it looks like a visual object, it looks good. Well, it's different to it being designed well.
Yeah. I'm gonna use like some kind of fancy paper, but not expensive, and like a rough edge, like stuff like that. Like so I shortly talk about the book contents. It's like I combined all the New Zealand party policy and mix it up, build the identity inside, and then. So it's a book you can read together to see what New Zealand people think, or it's like have a small digital number aside of the policy, and you can just search out which party get out the policy. Easy.
Yeah.
But like making a book is like more about like choosing paper.
Yeah.
Choose a side to like how to fold it up from the sheet, how to glue bind it, or like seal it. Today is the first day I know we have like sewing machine in school.
We have a stitch binding machine.
No, like the sewing machine you use that making clothes.
Oh, a sewing machine.
Sewing machine.
Oh, yeah. No, I knew we had one because I watched Aaron try to fix it a couple years back and just kind of half laughed at him. But then
know that.
because they bought like a brand new fancy one and it broke really quickly.
Right.
And I know a lot about sewing machines, so I was wandering around. I was like, "Oh, do you want me to have a look at it?" And he's like, "Sure, why not?" And I looked and I was like, "No, this is above my pay grade. I think you need to get it serviced, to be honest."
So like,
he's like, "We just got it. It's brand new." I'm like, "Well, you're not really. You're sewing paper, mate. You probably need an industrial one for that." So I don't know which one they've got, but.
So in some part of the education, like I was thought things like we was making a book together as class.
Yeah.
It's like good enough information and knowledge to make a book. And when I'm making by myself, like especially like a small book, quick book, I only spend like few weeks on it.
Yeah.
And then most like 2 of classmates making books, the book is heavy density to use like whole year to make it. Like so I go pass through the process faster than them. So I could start to realize the information I get studied from the group job to study how to make a book is definitely not enough to make me to make like enough copy of book. Like if I only going to make like 20 copy of book, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm now going to make at least like 100 or 200 copy of book. It's not enough the information. So they both the lecturers talk to me like shortly about what steps I should go.
Yeah.
It's like totally different like program steps to go beside than the one I know. So it's quite information I just brand new information I'm studying today. So it's like so I would say like I would thought like making book in art school is not that important anymore, but it's still important. Like they don't put that outcome like significant enough. Like they don't telling you must make one book for yourself in 3 years. Even like the book we can't really making this year, the workbook, it's only like 5 copy. Like they're asking like eventually the smallest is like 2 copy. Like
Yeah.
we just leave one here and one bring home and tell them we have another 3 copy, but already give my mom. But like I get it like not enough time in the university little bit now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the book is totally new era of the study because not only like like I can't understand blinding, I can't understand how to choose paper,
Yeah.
but I found out that no one having teach me how to manage it like in printing, like in the mass size, how I manage about cutting, how I'm managing about the show the picture on the books like looks good and looks exactly same.
Yeah.
And how no one teaching me how to like managing like a big mass of paper, how to make sure the ink don't touch each other. So like it's brand new journey in the end of my university.
Some of that we've done in past years, but you've not engaged with.
Mm,
So when we did our like group project last year,
yeah,
we did go through some of that, but a
Right.
lot of the class didn't engage with it by the time we got to that.
yeah,
Like, yeah, Ken did a lot of that kind of thing because he was dealing with the print side of things. Not to that scale, but we did print more than 100 copies of that book.
yeah. So like, but that's the reason I say like personal make book is important too.
Mm,
Yeah. So that's what I saw in this week.
yeah.
So I hopefully I'm going to release the book in 2 weeks. Like I kind of need
I
it.
don't think it'll be printed by then. If you're
I'm not going to put
presenting,
it in, and
if
I
you're
will
printing en masse, you will not have it done by then.
I will try to print like the first group of it,
Mm.
like maybe 50 of them first, and then to deal with another half and 50, because I have like a physical deadline, two physical deadline. First is like is a book about policy. I definitely not even like after university I need to get out before the election voting happens.
Yeah.
And the second policy is like I need small group of book already comes out before the like final 2 week.
The crit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So busy weeks.
Busy weeks.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, busy weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the end, I just want a little bit talk about one stuff. It's like they have a new album comes out. It's called The New Voice. It's like celebration of the BBC 100 years. It's BPS or PBS. Sorry, the band name PBS. It's a band.
Oh
Not BPS. Right.
no, neither of those. Those are television. Like BBC is the British Broadcasting.
Yeah.
Whatever
Anyway.
it is. And PBS is like public.
Broadcasting service.
Yeah.
So it's PBS or BPS. One of them is actually have a band names that. They collaboration with BBC Symphony and BBC to performance on BBC Pom celebration BBC 100 years. Like some of the works, they using the old speech.
What's the circle for?
Well, like quick steps. They use the circle to tell people to when to pick up the stuff, and then they didn't use in the end. So I just put that circle in my pocket and bring the home. I need bring back to cafe. Like they give me say, oh, come back when the beeping, and then they just call my name. Like well,
Leo.
no, back to the BBC stuff.
Leo.
So like they're using an old recording, like the founder of the BBC, the speech is talking about some like really significant and really interesting stuff, like really fitting the research about information flow I have this year. It's talk about like how the new information flow going to change people's mind, how we present them, how we keep them, protect them, not make it downgrade or make it shabby. It's so interesting. And I'm so happy to get that things hung out. And I just need to find a way to search it. But anyway, it's great music. Go to search it. Yeah.
Cool.
So, do you have anything else to say?
I do not think I do.
Right. So, the probably is the end of our this episode of podcast.
Thank you for listening to us chat about our projects.
Yeah.
Sorry for the slightly abrupt ending. This is a little bit shorter than normal. My head is very empty. Although, to be fair, our last one was a very cool episode. We apologise for the camera cutting out towards the end. We didn't realise it had stopped recording.
Yeah. So, wait, how much minutes got?
Only like 30, but that's okay.
38.
30,
Thirty.
oh, 40, yeah, okay,
Right, so-
that's not so bad. That's long enough. I thought it just said 33.
Yeah.
But yeah, 38's not so bad. You know, a whole 5 minutes
Yeah.
changes everything.
Mentally.
Mentally, yeah.
Right. So this is one of our last few of the episodes.
Yeah. If you've listened to any, or if this is your first one, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
I don't think almost anyone's watched or listened to them.
Oh, don't worry, we will force it. No, I will force it.
No, I was saying I thought it was interesting because if someone else is like watching or listening to this,
In like
we
10 years
probably
later.
graduated.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so this is like what, mid-September 2023. So if you're finding this after middle of October, we've finished.
Yeah, if you listen this, give us our like some kind of job. Like we
Leo
probably
would
need
like
it
a job,
that time.
please.
Like we probably need that, and please.
And I mean, if you're interested, feel free to hit us up. I'm sure that you'll still have. I don't know what we're gonna do, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Even like that time we don't do the like art related or like graphic design related. Like it's going to be fun,
Yeah.
especially.
Do you know? Are you gonna stay in Christchurch after you finish?
I will try ish, but not really that hard in some way. Like I will definitely like put graduate job in like first step, like
Yeah.
first choice. But if I can't find it, I'm not going to keep it.
Well, I'm going to Wellington,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, probably Wellington too. Like I kind of want to go to Auckland.
no, nobody really wants to go to Auckland. People just kind of end up there. That's a
yeah.
lie.
Like,
Some people really want to go to Auckland. My friend who's living up in Auckland at the moment,
what about
one
Melbourne?
of her favorite jobs up there.
Like, if I go to Auckland, I also going to choose Melbourne too. Like Auckland and Melbourne is same distance from Christchurch, like 2 hour or 3 hours. Not that far different.
No, it's a lot different. It's the size of the plane. Melbourne's a lot further from Christchurch than Auckland is. The plane is just bigger, so you travel a similar speed. But
Faster?
also, I'm pretty sure it's a 4-hour flight.
But
But I
it's
could be wrong.
A fast flight is not that too much.
Okay, anyway,
So,
I'm going to Wellington.
right. See you next episode.
Yeah.
See you in the live.
Bye.
Ciao.